So, what do I have here in my hand?
Given it an almost empty pitcher,
Correct.
or an almost or just beginning to be full pitcher. Are you peeing in there, or
Why
you
am
filling it
I?
up with,
What am I doing into the pitcher right now?
you're filling it up with the Coors Light there?
Why am I doing that?
Because hockey season started today.
A very, very good friend of mine, a brother, if you will, said to me, Jordan, I like you better when we do the show when you're drinking.
Yes.
So I said, all right, 3 beers is what I drink during a show. Put it in a pitcher, bud.
Hello, and thank you very much for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You can download many more episodes at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com.
We're here. Joker, Folie, Deux. I have been waiting for a year for this movie to come out. I took my father to go see this movie. He seemed very confused. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
This was a roller coaster here, bud, because it was one of those where I was fine with this movie never getting a sequel, but then they announced it, and it seemed like the hype or the rumor mill was going better than actual marketing. And it was one of those weird things where every time we got more and more of a release, whether it be trailer or screenshots of the actual film, the less enthusiasm the general audience seemed to have for this movie. So I was going into this pretty mixed. And then it got released, and before I or you went to go see it, this movie was getting crapped on real hard. Real hard. Still is.
Like 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. And usually there's a huge gap between critics and audience. Not in this one. I mean, general masses hate this movie.
Yeah. I usually don't go into a movie having read up on a lot of it. I like to go in dark, or like to go in blind, as most people know, just to kind of have the movie win me over. But this one, I really couldn't help it. It just seemed like the viral dumping on this movie was happening whether I was trying to avoid it or not. So expectations were pretty low so far going into it.
Wow, expectations for me couldn't have been any higher. I was on the hype train. I was ecstatic. I was excited. I got to the theater half an hour early, pounded a couple of beers, waiting for this anticipation. I was ready.
Well, geez, all right then. It feels like not a whole lot happened, or I'm sorry, story or plot wise, in the movie, and it could basically just be summed up pretty quickly, right? We're taken into the events 2 years after the first movie, where Arthur Fleck is now in prison for his crimes he committed in the first movie, and he's undergoing a psychiatric evaluation to see if he can stand trial for those crimes. That's basically it, right? And during that time, it's just kind of the characters and minor events that kind of go on in that time leading up to the trial.
Again, no difference in the first movie. The first movie, there was no plot either. Guy was bullied and picked on. Guy created a split personality, killed some people, and kills De Niro. I mean, there's not much plot of that either.
So can we agree then, and you had said this before off air, that the success of the first Joker, obviously making $1 billion or more, one of the highest, if not the highest, of the year, and I think it hit out of the record, right, for kind of, rated R movie, the highest grossing rated R movie, or...
Yeah, before Deadpool 3.
Deadpool first to break $1 billion or something like that, first R movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, was there a need to make the sequel? Now, you had said the studio obviously is going to say, well, this made $1 billion, so of course we're going to make a sequel. So please,
you and I were to say the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Go off on your rant. You were telling me about how the studio.
Yeah, so I was reading. So So this is why I like the movie, because I feel like Joaquin Phoenix, Gaga, and Todd Phillips, the director, all three were in on the joke, and the joke is the middle finger. I feel to us, and I feel it's a middle finger to the studio. Of course, this movie's going to be made. They made $1 billion. You had to do this, right? But there was no plan for a sequel at all. I listened to our old episode a little bit. I skimmed through it,
Uh-huh.
and you and I both predicted exactly this movie, which is very, very fascinating. Do you remember what we predicted?
What did we predict?
That this wasn't Joker. This couldn't have been Joker. Who's
Oh.
Arthur Fleck? You and I both brought that up about if they ever would have make go back and listen to it sometime. We both, and people listening, Eric and I both said that this isn't really Joker. This isn't the Heath Ledger or Jack Nicholson. This is something else different. That gets confirmed in this movie. He actually says it. So yeah, there's that. Also, there's a funny little joke that was documented that Joaquin Phoenix had no idea about Batman. And while he was on the set with Todd Phillips in the first movie, he said, if we do a sequel, maybe we should have a female Joker for me to work off of. So, no idea. No, these two have no idea what they were making. Then. Now they do. This movie's a joke, and I'm laughing with it the entire way.
It was hard for me to find some positive reviews. They are out there, and albeit very few, but yeah, I feel that those reviews shared the same view as yourself, where it's people who understand the in a meta way of what's going on here, what's being asked of Todd Phillips, of what's being asked of the cast itself, and how everyone was really just like, we really don't need this sequel. The first one was fine on its own. It was a great standalone. But you're gonna throw us money. You're gonna get us, do this whole thing, and it's like, all right, well, I'll take a paycheck and we'll just make this movie and have a fun time with it.
Yeah, but I feel that Todd Phillips is making the joke on us too. I mean, because Arthur Fleck is not Joker. And for us
Yeah.
to get the sequel to this, right? Okay, let's just kind of talk about it.
Let's
So,
talk about it.
Shawshank Redemption. I thought about Shawshank today, right? Every IMDb list ever says Shawshank is the best movie of all time, right? The
Okay.
movie tanked. The movie tanked, right? We know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the title was hard to say. Joker Folie à Deux. Now, you and I are millennials, so I bet nobody else has heard of this besides our generation because of Fall Out Boy. I mean, that's the only way I knew of the title was because of Fall Out Boy. That was the name of one of their albums, if you remember.
I actually more so from Hot Shots Part 2.
Yeah, Hot Shots Part 2.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Which means, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Folie à Deux mean madness of two? Sickness of two? I think it means madness of two,
Let
which
me
makes sense.
confirm that for you.
Fact check me.
It sure will, bud. Is a shared psychosis or delusional disorder. Is that what that is? Yes, the madness of two.
Madness of two. Perfect title for this movie.
I would
Because,
agree,
yeah,
and
100%.
really would think that, or at least I'm not think. I really would say to me, this movie is 2 hours and what 2 hour 15 or something like that. 2 hour 18.
230. 230, bud.
IMDb says 218, but yeah, close,
Okay.
right just under there. Sure. I really do feel that the first hour of this movie is very different from the second hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
honestly, in the first hour of this movie, I was kind of on board. I was like, okay, I'm with it. I can see where they're going with this. I could see the the world that they're painting here, or that they've already painted, that they're continuing. I could see what they're trying to do here, and I enjoyed what what they're doing here. I enjoy that Arthur Fleck has become this celebrity, this anti-establishment, this fight the power martyr, right? This guy who has become a symbol for chaos, and
Mhm.
I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed that they painted in the first movie that there is unrest, that there are people who hate the upper class, the bourgeoisie, and whatever the elites, and they really are fighting against it. They really feel like they're being ignored, and this is their time to rise up. I like what's going on here, but then it really starts to get just weird.
Right, in a good way, in my opinion.
Sure, I think it kind of loses its direction a bit, really, and honestly, the musical numbers took me out of it, if you wanted to call them that.
Sure. Yeah, it takes a lot of people out of it. I think again, it's brilliant. I think it's great.
I would say that a few of those musical numbers, I get it. We're in Arthur's delusion. We're in his head a bit. We're in his fantasy, and I'm in it. I'm all for that. I enjoy the parts where he and Lee Gaga are kind of doing their shared delusion in a music number.
Mhm.
I get it. I think that's great when they're kind of bouncing off back and forth. I like this interpretation, this creativity that Todd Phillips is giving us of how to show their relationship. I really do get it, but it just seemed like I don't know how many musical numbers there were here. Let's say that there were like 10, right?
Sure. Let's say 10.
I think that's five too many.
Sure. I think all 10 musical numbers are stupid. And that's the funny thing is that I am not contradicting myself. So let me kind of spell it out here for you and anybody else that may be confused. I don't know what I'm going to give this movie with talking with you yet, but I'm not going to say hardly anything negative about it because I really felt as soon as I sat down in the theater with my dad and we got the opening of a cartoon with Arthur Fleck fighting against his shadow and showing cartoon butt and doing the cops going yip 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 yip.
Yep.
The movie is a middle finger to everybody that loved the first Joker movie. These people don't want to make the sequel. They have no interest in making the sequel. So we're going to destroy the stuff that you loved about the first movie because we don't want to do this.
Yeah.
That's why I think this is great because the last movie what cost them less than 100 million. This movie cost them 200 million dollars. They got the studio to pay them 200 million dollars for this garbage. It's brilliant. This is performance art. You know what I mean? This is like Shia LaBeouf putting a paper bag over his head. You did this?
Yeah, it definitely does seem this movie is for the small group than for the majority.
This movie is anti-incel. That was the big thing about the last movie. It was you know, all about incels and don't worry, darling kind of people, right? But then that movie came out before January 6th.
Do you think
And,
that with some time this movie will get a better reception then?
yeah, I think people will finally get the joke after some time because January 6th happened in our world. Our world's a lot different world than what it was in 2019. And this movie is killing everything that people loved about the first time. So that's why I liked it because it was something different. Eric, how many times do you and I complain? Yep, here, welcome to Movie Guys Podcast, another Fast and Furious movie. It's all the same. You know what I mean? We're going to sit here and we're going to have an in-depth conversation about a movie that is Halloween ends terrible.
Sure.
But I love it.
Sure. Again, I think this is actually what I think is going to work is that it seems like a lot of people have a different review for this. What I don't like though is going online and seeing all the harsh negative reviews where it does feel like some people are just parroting the same stuff they heard from a different review and not forming their own opinion about it. And it also seems I'm not even kidding you. Like I've read some reviews where it's just like I don't think this person saw the movie. I think that they just took something from a YouTube video that they saw about the movie and then added some stuff that they thought that they were trying to some flair that they thought would be cool, and they're just dogpiling onto it. I can understand, really, I can, why people did not like this movie,
I
but
can too, yeah.
to say such like hard words like sucks and worst Joker ever kind of a thing. It's just like I don't know, man. I think Jared Leto is still gonna hold that trophy, hold that
It's
Razzie.
it's not the worst Joker ever because it's not Joker.
I mean, it's got all the characters in there, bud.
Who besides because her name's Lee
Harvey Dent.
and for 2 scenes, and then you get the stupid little nod scene at Todd Phillips doesn't care. You get the scene at the end where the camera's panning and you see what happened to Harvey Dent. It doesn't focus on anything. You know what I mean? Like
Right, but even in the credits it says characters adapted from DC Comics.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
So
Let's get into it.
I get you. Is this a different universe? Is this universe
There's no different universe. That's another thing.
multiverse?
That's the other thing too. That's the only reason I like this movie is because there is no universe. This movie doesn't care about a universe. Todd Phillips got the studio to make a Taxi Driver remake, but had Joker in it, and now he was able to do what he wanted to do, and he made One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay.
Literally.
Okay.
I mean that's what he did.
Well,
So
this would set up actually pretty well for Heath Ledger's Joker.
it would not at all.
You don't think so? Because given the time,
This takes place in '82.
right, when Bruce was still a kid, right?
Right, but Heath Ledger looks pretty young in 2008. The way this movie ends, we are assuming that guy, the real Joker, as Heath Ledger, BS. He'll be too old in 2008.
I mean, yeah, sure. At the same part, like there's a lot of it's Hollywood, right? So you could imagine that guy in jail was maybe young, early 20s, and 15 years older than Bruce Wayne, if not a little bit, around that part. And so Bruce in the Batman Begins or Dark Knight Rises is what, mid late 20s, early 30s. So
And Batman Begins or the end of the one with Bane?
in Batman Begins or Dark
Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises.
in Dark Knight then.
Okay, so when he goes against Heath Ledger, let's
Yeah.
say he's 30.
Yeah, listen, it's a stretch. Okay, as
Yeah.
I'm saying it, I realize that it's a stretch, but it's albeit possible, right? Like we just reviewed a movie, Bottoms, where some 20-year-old girls are playing high school students. Yeah, even later on, my biggest gripe about Wicked, which is weird because it's supposed to come out this year after what feels like a 2-year-long marketing process here for
Right.
a thing they haven't even announced in 2 parts yet, where you have what looks like 40-year-old women with a drug problem playing at college students.
Yeah, Ariana Grande, but why not?
She looks in rough shape here.
But here's the thing, though, is that the reason why I disagree with you about that being Heath Ledger is because this movie is flat out telling us that Joker's not a person, Joker's an idea, Joker is a construct. It's what it is. I mean, so Joker will live on forever. There'll be different forms of Joker. I think this is kind of fun. I think every Joker iteration that we've seen in the movies, from Jack Nicholson all the way to now, has just been an iteration of this Joker, of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. You know what I mean? Because this takes place in the early 80s. This takes place
Jack
9 years
Nicholson's
before Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson's Joker would be a little bit more into show's over, folks.
Right. So that's where I'm at with it. So let's get into this where we get introduced to Joaquin Phoenix, Arthur Fleck, in the most, oh God, he looks terrible, right? You can see his shoulder blades coming out of his cell. And what a morning. Every morning these prisoners carry their bucket of feces and piss.
Yeah.
Every day. And they dump it butt naked, waddle down the hall, and dump it into a horse trough. Not, it's a sink. But still, though.
Yeah.
Right? What a life. Arthur's miserable. He's on his drugs. He is not charismatic. At the end of the first movie, he was putting blood on his face and doing the dancing and all the he was alive. He's dead in the beginning here.
Yeah.
This is terrible to see him in this.
Yeah, he is Arthur Fleck in this one. He is not Joker.
He's Arthur Fleck throughout the whole movie, I would argue.
Sure. Well, the point maybe at the end when he represents himself.
I don't think that was it either. But we'll get into it.
Yeah.
But we get to see little things like all the guards' umbrellas are black, but he looks up and they're different colors straight from the trailer. Okay, he's delusional, right? Blah, blah, blah. We get to meet Gaga. I do not think that she's crazy. Maybe unstable, but not crazy. She's not Arthur Fleck crazy.
Oh, geez. So I'll say it early here. I really enjoyed Gaga as Lee, as Harley Quinn, or Lee Quinzel in this movie. I think she did a great job. I really did. I was really impressed because in my mind, Harley is not kind of like that Margot Robbie one where she's like this bumbly kind of giggly psycho crazy girl, as much as she is this Lady Gaga type where it's like a drug addict stripper kind of a thing where she's got something in her, like there's always something going on. Like she's always thinking about something else that's different than what she's saying, and it feels like she's kind of a wild card. Like you don't know what's going to happen. Like this is the crazy girl who's going to burn down your house if you just say the wrong thing, or the type of person who's just like, oh yeah, I killed your cat because you cheated on me in a dream. Type of point. Type of girl. And so I liked her interpretation, and I'm not really a fan of Gaga the actress in a lot of her movies, but I think this one she did a pretty good job of doing like that New York City crazy, if that makes sense.
I was not a fan of Gaga's music, but what made me fall in love with her as an actress was A Star Is Born. She was terrific in my opinion in that movie, and she excels in her acting in this movie. The reason why I say I don't think she's crazy is because I think she's a little bit, but she's not Arthur Fleck crazy. She is a fangirl. She doesn't give a crap about Arthur Fleck. She cares about Joker. And she's just a fangirl. We find out, right, because we find out in the middle of the movie, but we find out everything she tells him is a lie. Because she just wants to be near Joker. And when Joker doesn't want to be Joker anymore, she goes away.
Yeah. I agree that she's not like crazy psychotic as much as she's just this. You're right. That's a good way of putting it. An uber fangirl, a stalker type, and it almost reminds me of the super fan who you hear about that has broken into Taylor Swift's house, who's broken into a celebrity's house and thinking that, oh yeah, well, writing them letters, kind of a thing, and just like, well, we were meant to be together. They just don't know it yet. And that's a good way to put that. But not a fan of her music in this movie. I'm a fan of Gaga's music in her regular body of work as a pop star. I think she's got an amazing voice and amazing talent.
I read online that she had that her vocal coach taught her how to not sing. Sure,
you could hear the voice crack a little bit.
Yeah, because these two are not supposed to sing. It's like me and you singing, and what do we do?
Yeah,
and that's what I liked about it. It's because it's so not at all what you expect a movie to be. Because of Marvel and because of technology, movies are supposed to be pretty now. Movies are not supposed to be like this, and dark and just boring. Like Blade Runner is not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be pretty.
Sure.
And we got a Blade Runner. So, I just think she's a total fangirl, and she is ultimately Arthur's downfall, right? Because he doesn't want to be Joker. Because the guards keep on saying, "Come on, Arthur, tell us a joke," and he won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps very quiet. He's kind of mute. He doesn't really bright up until he sees Gaga, and she immediately is smitten with him because he's Joker, or she thinks he's Joker. So therefore, she gives him the voice that he really doesn't have.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think there's a realization that he has that people aren't in love with Arthur; they're in love with Joker, and
Right.
he doesn't. He just wants to be Arthur. That's the whole reason why he turned into the Joker in the first place, right? Is because people were picking on Arthur.
Right. And we know for a fact now because of this movie that him killing De Niro did happen. We don't know about the other stuff like with the end with the riots. Well, never mind. Yes, they do. They said the riots happened, didn't they?
Yeah,
So all that stuff actually happened. We know that there's been a TV movie made about him now, right?
yep.
And he doesn't seem to have many friends. No friends besides one in the prison
Ricky,
who he kisses, right?
yeah, who seems to be another fanboy or crush or whatever you want to give him. That, yeah,
Another fanboy, another crush. Yep. And yeah, and this movie goes from a depressing One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest kind of movie to a trial where Harvey Dent is in this movie. That was shocking to have Harvey Dent in this. And that, he's going for the death penalty.
oh yeah. Well, he killed at the time 5 people. He later admits to killing 6.
Right.
Yeah,
So his therapist, well, not his therapist, his defense attorney is trying to do the split personality um, defense, which I kind of sniffed out as BS, right? Because from what this movie's telling me at this point, and from what I saw in the first movie, he doesn't have split personality, right? Arthur he just becomes what people thinks he should become. He doesn't really have a voice.
I think it's not necessarily a split personality, but it's one of those where like celebrities who wear sunglasses indoors, you feel more comfortable with the mask on
Sure.
because you can kind of be a more unrestricted version of yourself. So
Hmm.
yeah, I don't think he's flipping into a different state, like I mean myself and Irene kind of a thing.
Right.
I think he's just more comfortable with some makeup on because he has the excuse.
He has the excuse. That's his shield.
It's his,
Good,
yeah.
good, good thing. Good thing about the sunglasses. That's a very good point. Yeah, and this is where we get the trial where, by the way, why is he kissing his defense attorney? Be, I was questioning that, right? Because they would talk and they would lean in for a kiss and she'd be like, Arthur, what are you doing? Is that him so, I don't know what the word is, but like he's just so not with reality? Does he think that she's Harley Quinn? Why is he kissing random people in this movie? Why?
It sounds like okay. So the 3 people that really show him any sort of affection are Ricky, the attorney, which interpret that how, if you will, if she really wasn't that supportive, or if she was not. I feel like that she was, albeit that it would help her career, of course. But I think that she at one point did sympathize with him and being like, listen, they this is not being at this arcane or Arkham prison, wherever you're at, is not for you. You actually need some actual help, and to go for this crazy excuse, I think that would help you out. And then Lee, the 3 people who show him any sort of sympathy and affection are the people that he kisses. So
Good
maybe
point.
it's a part of this delusion, this fantasy that he has, where he's like, "Oh, they must like me."
Okay, valid point. Now she sets a fire during a little screening of a movie, and this is where they have their first actual duet, right? Like their first big number together, and they're running out, and there's a crowd of people all wanting to see Joker, right? And the guards don't mess him up like I thought they would. They do later, which we'll talk about what I think happened to Arthur and the guards.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I mean, but right now at this moment, I'm surprised. Like I thought they would beat the living snot out of him. What'd they do? Put him in a hole?
Did they do it that time when?
Yeah, because I think they put him in the hole. She shows up and she's like, "Hey, they're sending me home."
Oh yeah, that's right. They do put him in the hole, and
Yeah.
that's when Lee comes, visits him, and then they, I guess, hook up.
They seal the deal. They consummate the relationship, right? She even puts Joker makeup on him. That's how amazing this movie is to me, where it's like that right there shows you she's not having sex with Arthur. She's having sex with Joker.
Yeah.
And she has to put the makeup on in order for it to happen. And it didn't seem like it was good sex. I was just uncomfortable watching that as I did Eminem with 8 Mile. Yeah, it just wasn't good. It wasn't a good scene.
He's a 2-pump chump.
Hey, you would be too if you were locked in with men for, 2 years, right?
Yeah, you kidding me?
I mean, I don't think you'd be able to get it in, bud.
Yeah, well, Lee does help him.
Well, yep, she does. So yeah, no, yeah, she has to put the Joker makeup on him. Right there, I knew it was BS too, because she was like, the hospital's sending me home because they feel like you're a bad influence on me. They wouldn't send her home if she was really there. They would move her to a different ward, put her someplace else.
Yeah.
Right.
It does seem that a lot of the guards were very forgiving and just kind of like, yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah, do what you want, because we're gonna get ours, right? And this is where we get the first introduction of the trial and everything, what their defense is gonna be. And this is where we find out from his lawyer that, hey, Gaga's been lying to you, bud. Her dad's not dead. He's actually a doctor. She's from the Upper West Side. She drinks coffee at Central Perk with Ross, Monica, and Chandler.
Actually, a bit of a building on Harley Quinn there, because she said that she was a graduate of like she went to school, right, for psychiatry, and which is very much in Harley's background.
Which I would have loved this movie a lot. Like, large bag, give me all the popcorn butter you want. If she would have said to Arthur, she didn't. If she would have said, yeah, I'm not crazy. I'm a senior at NYU and I'm studying psychiatry, and I just wanted to get close to you. Like, you are a project.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
I would have liked that idea.
As long as she didn't call him Puddin', then that's fine.
Yeah, but Harley Quinn calls Joker Puddin' from the animated series, big guy, which we have
and
to
the comics and in the Suicide Squad, and
she has a puddin' necklace, I believe.
Yeah,
it's a lot better than Haktua calling you Pookie. So anyway,
one can dream.
This is where, huh?
So one can dream.
One can dream. So then this is where, she gives him the strength to defend himself as Joker, which the movie tries, right? So like the judge is even like, there's no law that says that you can't dress like this to defend yourself, so he can. It's like, yeah, there may be no law, but he dressed like that to kill people. Like,
yeah. It gets a little ridiculous.
The court would not allow.
Especially when the judge says over and over again, I will not allow you to turn this into a circus. It's like, well, he's dressed like a clown, man. He's in full makeup.
Yeah. It's like if Freddy Krueger was on trial and they were like, you can keep the knife fingers. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And the hat.
You know what I mean? It's like, in the hat. Like, what are you doing? No. But this is where I was telling you earlier, where I don't think he ever was Joker. Because he defends himself. He fires her. He fires his lawyer, and he goes into this southern. I declare from To Kill a Mockingbird, right?
Yeah.
Like, why is he doing this? And he talks to Puddles. Is your name Puddles?
You mean to tell me and the rest of this here court now that your last name is Puddles?
Is Puddles.
Yeah.
The greatest actor in this movie is this guy, Puddles.
Yeah, he did
I'm not saying that facetiously. Like this guy is amazing. because we forget as the audience who love Joker, right? That there are other victims who are not dead that Joker has experienced. And I felt this guy, right? Because this was the little person, if people don't remember from the first movie, who was always nice to Arthur. Arthur was nice to him, but then Arthur killed the coworker in front of him, right?
Uh-huh.
And Puddles says, Arthur, you don't understand the trauma that you've caused me.
Yeah.
Like, I have victim's remorse and all whatever there's. And then what snapped, which I think was good acting on Joaquin Phoenix's part. He said, "Did you watch me on the Murray Show?" And he's like, "I didn't watch it," and it hurt him.
Yeah.
Right, because I feel like Puddles was his only true real friend in his mind, so he thought that Puddles was going to defend him until reality hit in when it was like, "No, bud, you repeatedly stabbed the crap out of the coworker Randall. You've traumatized me."
Yeah. Yeah.
This guy's amazing.
He did
This guy's a great actor.
a really good job of kind of taking the wind out of his sails.
Mm-hmm.
Really, because you thought that Joker in this part, not Arthur, was building up towards something. That he was trying to, albeit crazy, and I don't know where he was going with it, but you thought that he was trying to lead up to what he thought was a gotcha, or was his, I rest my case plea,
Right.
or his whatever it was. But then, yeah, then Gary Puddles basically was just like, no, man, like I was in holding. I was at the police station because I was afraid you were going to come after me. Yeah, and just, yeah, you're very much right. Where this was maybe one, if not the only time where Arthur got snapped back into Joker, and he, snapped back to reality, where he realized that, oh, geez, I'm doing a lot of damage here. I thought I was getting hyped up from the people around me who were dressing like me and saying, "Yeah, go Arthur, go Joker, you could do it, you can do it," and you realize that, oh, geez, I've become the person who I was killing, who I killed. I've become this new bully.
Yeah, he's become a bully, and I want to know what your opinion is, because a few scenes after this, what officially breaks Arthur to make him realize he can no longer be Joker? Was it Puddles, or was it the guards gang raping him later?
I think it was the guards, because it seemed like he had his joking self all the way up until the shower scene.
I think he was masking himself. I think Gary hurt him deep, worse than the guards.
Yeah, you think so? The guards ripped the Joker right out of him.
Well, yeah, that's the Gary did. I'm curious too. I don't think there's any homosexual acts. I think things were placed inside. You know what I mean? Like, hey, here's a baton stick.
Yeah, like Johnny Cakes and Sopranos.
There you go. Yeah, 100%. I don't think
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the guards were like, woo, freaking Requiem for Dream style.
Or yeah, yeah. What the? Oh, why can't they have it? That movie. Oh man, make us feel like a pig.
Oh, Deliverance.
Deliverance, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't think they were John voiding Deliverance here. I think they were just like, all right, we're gonna mess this guy up.
Well, yeah. The suggestive requests were for them to. There was 3 guards there, and they had their sticks out, and they were saying, "All right, we'll get the clothes off." And the next scene you have is of Arthur being dragged with no bottoms on.
Right.
And it's just kind of like, all right, well, it seems like you're insinuating something.
Right. So I think a lot of people will feel that the guard gang rape is what did him in, but I don't. I mean, traumatizing as that may be, I think what traumatized Arthur Fleck more was his one true friend in his delusional mind was not actually his real true friend. And that breaks him.
On the top of this, too, because in the first part of this movie, you kind of have Arthur and some of the guards, played by the main one played by Brendan Gleeson, by the way.
Yeah.
Kind of having this friendly rapport, this back and forth. Like they kind of have this understanding, this joke, right? Where if Arthur tells them a joke, he gets a cigarette, and they kind of let Arthur kind of off, the hook a little bit sometimes, no handcuffs, and just say, "Hey, all right, get over here." And they seemed a little bit forgiving, but again, a reminder that he has no friends. And then these people that maybe he thought was great. A great example of that too is when there was a moment, I forgot what scene had after that too, but Arthur had just gotten back from something like, and he had a cigarette, and he told Jackie for a cigarette, the guard gave him a cigarette, and as they're walking down the hall, Arthur kind of hips him on the back, a little like a friendly thing, as you would, like, yeah, thanks, pal, for the cigarette. And as soon as he does that, he slaps him in the back of the head.
Which is what I was going to disagree with you about. I don't think the guards like him at all. He was their plaything. That was not a sign of brotherly fraternity love with the guard and Arthur. That was, I am dominant over you.
Oh, yeah. No,
the guards hated him.
Completely agree, but I think that was maybe this illusion that even in Arthur's world, the part where he thought he was maybe good with certain people, that
I see what you're saying.
It was never that. And
Yeah.
when he was brutally assaulted that night, and then thrown into the holding or whatever cell that he was in, and then the guards proceed to then kill his one friend in jail, Ricky.
Oh, that's right. They do kill Ricky. Yeah, they do kill Ricky. It was all off screen. You could hear it, right? But Ricky was doing something? Wasn't he singing the Saints Go Marching In? Yeah.
Yeah.
Saints Go Marching In.
And he wouldn't stop. They open up the cell, and they basically they choked him out, I think.
Is that what they did? They actually did choke him out?
Yeah, I think they kind of showed a little glimpse of something. But either way, they killed him.
They did kill him. But there's another person that only has been seen once. He was the guy who bit the arm of the guard, who's kind of been floating around in the background as this is going. So then we go to the trial. Before we get there, Harley Quinn is in Harley Quinn getup, right? It's this world's version of it, right? She has the crazy top. She has the crowish kind of makeup, if you will. She does not look Harley Quinn, right? But she looks like she belongs in the Robert Pattinson universe.
I think, given this world and how kind of grimy and like the color palette that it uses, and it's not very brightly colored, I think she did a pretty good job of it, to be honest. And even more so later on, when she's on the steps, those famous steps, and her hair is cut.
I have some theories.
It really does feel like, oh, okay, I actually, she's in the full getup here. I actually like this Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Yeah, I was shocked by it. I liked it. She shows up. It's a big ploy. She's getting what she wants. She's a fangirl. Her man is defending himself. No idea about what happened the night before. No idea Gary Puddles destroyed him, right?
Yeah.
She's there promoting. All the incels are out there protesting. Yes, right, this man is going to succeed. And he stands up in Joker mask. He puts down a stool, gets a microphone. Judge, for no reason, says it's not a comedy show. And he declares that there is no Joker, that this was him the entire time, and this is him also admitting that he killed his mother as well. 6 victims this guy has had.
Yeah.
And as they read the verdict of guilty, out of nowhere, and I like movies that do this, a bomb explodes. Who did it? Harley Quinn? Was it a crazy person? It was probably just protesters, right? We have no idea who they were.
No idea.
I'm going to bring you back to a movie that I do enjoy a lot. No Country for Old Men, if you remember that movie.
Of course I do.
Love that movie a lot. And one of my
Amazing
favorite parts
movie.
of that movie is at the end when Javier Bardem is walking and he gets destroyed by a car out of nowhere.
Okay.
Remember that at the very end? He's just he's walking or he's driving or something, and he gets like hit by a car and his arms busted. comes out of nowhere. It hits you out of nowhere, like life hits you out of nowhere. So I like that here. I like that he's standing up, guilty, guilty, boom, explosion, right?
Yeah.
In a world that doesn't give a crap about Batman, why have Harvey Dent and why show us during the explosion half of his face gets burned? Like, was that
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was
necessary?
burned as much as it would just got hit with the
He's
debris.
But come on, he's Two-Face.
Of
It's
course.
Harvey Dent. It's Two-Face. It's like putting a question mark on a guy's forehead and say he's not the Riddler. Like, come on.
You're right. You're right. Exactly. I think that was
Right.
just fan service.
Okay, fair enough.
I honestly, and I really don't understand why else they would have it in there just to have the faithfuls. Like, listen, you have the rights for DC to make it, so you might as well use it and throw some other people in there too. I
Might as well.
Yeah, so you have it, so why not use it? I don't. The judge to me looked like Martin Scorsese. I don't know if that's supposed to be something for him to just kind of be like, no, you can't. You got to stop. Don't do it.
He did look like Martin. He had the hair and he had the big, thick
The
black
thick
glasses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So these two random one looks just like Joker. So Joaquin Phoenix is walking out, car bomb explodes. This random guy who looks just like him, who's a fan of his, is like, "Oh my God, you're the guy. You're the real guy." Kidnaps him. He literally does kidnap him. Him and his buddy put him in the back of the car, and they're just driving. Great scene. Cameras in the back with Arthur. He doesn't know where he is. He's discombobulated, shell shocked, and these guys are talking, swearing at each other, yelling at each other. He doesn't know where he is. And this is where I was wondering, and I don't know if you were thinking this way, but this whole scene's going on, and Arthur's not leaving the car yet, right? So I'm like, oh, am I wrong? Like, is he going to, like, join these guys and, like, become the ruler? Like, I mean, like, is he going to start a Joker gang? Like, is this going to happen?
Oh, sure.
Right, him and Harley Quinn? He got out of there as soon as he could. He wanted nothing to do with them. Proves my point that this guy wasn't Joker.
Sure.
And he runs to his old neighborhood till we get to the famous steps, right? And this is where Harley Quinn is. Different haircut. She has no interest in him at all. This kind of proves my theory of being a fangirl. Because he said he wasn't Joker anymore. She had no desire in him anymore. She's probably not even pregnant.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my opinion. What do you think?
If you're trying to add some layers to this, it's almost just like the Joker represents maybe the first movie, and Lee represents the audience of this movie, where it's just like, oh man, I like the idea of you, and this is great, and then you realize that, oh hey, I'm not what you want me to be, and then the audience is like, oh man, you know what, I don't like it anymore. This is kind of lame. But yeah, I listen. You said it once already before, and I agree with you 10 times. Where it never meet your heroes, and she got too close. She
literally
liked the idea of him.
Liked what he represented until she realized that a short little black guy with a big clock around his neck saying "fight the power" is probably not who Bridget Nielsen should be with.
Good
Wilson?
call.
Bridget Nielsen?
Brigitte.
Brigitte. I'm glad you got that reference. I hope people that listen to the show get that reference.
Of course,
I
man.
really hope. So, the movie ends, which everybody's talking about, like you tried to compare to, but the movie ends with Arthur clearly being set up by the guard, saying, "Arthur, you got a visitor," and he walks down the hall, and he turns around, and this, you can't really see his face that well, stabs him multiple times in the stomach. He's wondering what's going on. We get the song number, right, where Gaga shoots him, and he's dying.
Yep.
And it comes back to reality of this guy, after stabbing him, sits back behind with his back on the wall and starts carving his face. Heath Ledger, you want to know how I got these scars? Again, I don't think that this is Heath Ledger. I think that this is just them paying fan service or them just giving us the big middle finger saying it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That no matter what happens, if one Joker dies, another one will take his place. and that the idea of Joker is firmly implanted into this world, and it just keeps on a going.
The gift that keeps on
The
giving.
show
So
must go on.
we keep on giving people's podcast. Wow, we keep on giving people popcorn ratings. There we go. That's the gift that keeps on giving. Eric, do you want me to go first? Or you want to go
I
first?
would like you to go first, please.
Okay. So I am torn between a no bag and a large.
Wow, it's a big leap.
It is a big leap because I do love that first Joker movie. You know, I really do. And I really like 70s cinema. Like I really like 70s grime. I like Taxi Driver and Raging Bull and Main Streets and Godfather. Like I like that kind of that dirt, that grime.
Yeah.
Even Jaws has that dirt and grime kind of. And so that's what I loved about the first one. Look, this is not the sequel that I wanted. You say Lady Gaga is going to be Harley Quinn. I want these two to tear Gotham down. They don't even call this place Gotham. In the trial, they said the state of New York versus Arthur Fleck. This isn't Gotham. So this was not the movie that I wanted at all. But saying that, the movie that we got, I get it immediately what they were doing, and I applaud them for doing something that they wanted to do, which was we don't want to make this movie. We've all been there. I don't want to come to work today. Hang in there, kitty, right? You don't want to do this. Somebody got a case of the Mondays. So I did praise this movie all the way through. So I have to stick with what I feel. I feel this movie is great for what it is. So yeah, I'm going to give it a large. I really did enjoy this movie. And I think it's going to take a while for it to become a cult classic, but it'll get that status.
Okay.
So a large bag for me. I cannot complain. Eric, what is your popcorn rating for Joker Folie à Deux?
I am torn between a small and medium, just because, to be quite honest with you, as I am repeating again, I feel that a lot of the internet warriors really are just doing the whole trending thing where it's just fun to hate.
Yeah, hate on Joker, yeah.
Yeah, I really don't think it was as bad as everyone on the internet seems to think it is. I know it's fun to make fun of something and, laugh at it, but this really, there was a direction in this movie. It didn't stray so horribly off from the first one. It's just that those musical numbers really, I feel like they served a purpose, but albeit just not completely for the film. Like the idea or the of the musical numbers of what it was trying to accomplish had already done that in the first two numbers. It really did need to press on. The fantasies of him and Lee doing a variety show or their own little late night show where it's together and then she betrays him. I get it, but a lot of times these things went on for too long, and it just really took me out of it to the point where this whole second part of the movie, the second hour, kind of turned into like a chore, like a slog on, man. It really just was just like, okay, can we get to the trial, please? We're getting there, we're getting there. I think that there was a lot of parts that did work in this. We praised Gary Puddles' performance. We didn't so much talk about how Sophie, the neighbor, was in there too, and just just all of Harvey Dent's kind of witnessed in his parts. I think the trial part really worked. I liked the way that Arthur was getting power from the people outside. I still like that in this world there is the people who want the city to burn because they've been ignored. I like this angle that they were going at, but I feel like the movie just maybe wasn't as executed as what they were trying to do. But maybe, again, I'm completely wrong. And just like you had said, they were trying to do the middle finger to the studio, to the audience, just to be like, listen, we all know this didn't need a sequel, but we're going to make one anyway just because.
Right. And honestly, to kind of go off of you, If I had it my way, this movie would be nothing but trial. You know what I mean? Like this movie would be all. If I would have wrote it, this movie would be all trial, barely in a insane asylum, and there would be this strange blonde woman that kind of looks like a female Joker trying to get into the court every day. I would have OJ'd this because they said this was the trial of the century, right? So have this be on all the TVs in Gotham News. Have this weird blonde clown woman trying to get in, to be a part of him, to be to have the big ending where they break him out of the court like they do. But instead of not going with the dudes, he goes with the dudes and becomes the Joker with Harley Quinn.
Jordan, that's actually a pretty good angle, man, to focus on the hysterics before the trial is going on, to see that what kind of disarray the city is in because of Arthur being on trial, where it's almost like kind of like OJ, as you said, where it seems like it was more than that. That it was not just OJ on trial. It was a community against the officials.
A community.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where it was Arthur, the underappreciated, versus the people in control. And that was the real trial here. And the movement that had sparked this, I think you're right, that would have been a better movie to see rather than it just being about one person battling their own kind of delusion into whatever they think that this is going to be and what we turned out to be instead. I would have liked to see that movie a little bit more. But it does seem, I agree, that the people in this movie, Todd and the other two writers that were from the same first movie, by the way, Scott Silver, Todd Phillips, and Bob Kane, where they were just like, let's make this movie so that we can confirm there will not be a third movie.
Well, the reason why that I wish the sequel that I said that I would wish that I got is because why introduce Batman's parents at the end of the first movie if you're not going to go into this world? Because you remember that in the first movie when there's a rampage going on in the streets?
Yeah.
And then a rich guy and his wife and the boy sees the murder?
Yeah.
Now that's Mr. Wayne, right? So like that's what I'm getting at. I don't know, that's my piece. That's what I would have loved to see. I would love to see a trial movie with a fangirl Harley Quinn trying to be with her pudding.
Sure. And
that's what I wish.
Because of that, I don't know. Like, I really am torn between giving it a small and giving it a medium. I'm gonna say small because I don't see myself seeing this movie again.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm gonna see this a few times. Okay.
I just, me personally, I still did enjoy it for what it was, and I wasn't expecting much. Like I said before, I went in here with already low expectations, and I think after watching it, I was like, oh, geez, it wasn't that bad. Everyone was really giving this like 4 thumbs down here, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, like, it wasn't great. Like, it's still, if you compare it between this and the first one, the first one was I think miles better. I actually during this movie watched the clip of the first one of him killing Murray again.
Right, yeah, because that scene's great.
That's a great scene, and that's something that I'm going to watch again. Whereas in this one, I don't see me going on YouTube and checking out any other scene of this. It's not as memorable. The first one, the him dancing on the stairs is iconic. The Murray scene is iconic. Him in the mirror trying to pull on a happy face. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones that kind of hit harder rather than any part of this. Maybe the Gary Puddles, but again, I'm kind of just kind of like that. So from that, I do give it a small, but that's not anyone that's listening to it. I'm not saying that it's like, oh, it's garbage, the worst movie of the year, the worst is that. Like, no, that it's.
You're not saying that.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all.
It's just not for you.
I'm just saying that. Yeah, listen, it's not for me. I feel like I've described it other ways, other movies like this before, where I think the elements were there. It just didn't fall in the order that I wanted it to. Flat out. But I like Joaquin Phoenix. I think acted the hell out of this movie, man.
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
And this is his first sequel.
Yeah. Oh, nice. And I think Lady Gaga did a pretty good job of Lee Quinzel. I liked Catherine Keener as the lawyer in this movie, albeit a small part, but there's no such thing as small parts, right?
No,
So
yeah. This movie for me in a nutshell is Terminator 1 being Terminator 1, but then skip over T2 and T3 would be the next one. You know what I mean?
yeah, no,
It's like, okay, there's some elements here that I like. Yeah, but again, I know I sound crazy because I'm back and forth, but
no,
I
continues
think
the
you
story.
get it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
it's,
think
I think that there's just we agree, right? That the story aside, because there's not much you could sum up the story in a few sentences and move on. That this movie was trying to tell, maybe subliminally, what am I trying to say? Subliminally. I can't my words.
Worcestershire sauce.
Subliminally, a different story, a different
Yeah.
something that I'm sure a lot of theater students can pick apart.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to do that.
Absolutely not. We just do a podcast. But yeah, I think it's a large for my reasons. Eric thinks it's a small for his reasons. We do agree, even though our popcorn ratings don't agree. But I think you're seeing two sides of the coin.
Very nice.
Proud of me.
Was that a
You're like-
Two-Face reference there, bud?
That was a damn Two-Face reference. I deserve a foot massage for that one. So, everybody's listening, thank you so much for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Check us out on Thursdays, wherever you get your podcast from. Eric, thank you so much for joining me. And we'll be back next Thursday for another awesome episode. Have a good night. But aren't these cute, though? Aren't these cute? I love
Jordan just not playing around with his new headset.
Well, I ordered them the night after the last recording because I was like, dude, like, my headsets were falling apart. I mean, I've had those things for 8 years almost, bud.
About time.
Like, geez. Oh, Pete. Oh, and by the way, I want to call you out on something real quick.
Please do.
So you say December of 2025 is our 10-year anniversary. No. This
No?
is the 10th season. I went back and looked at all the records that I have. And yes, we didn't start till December of 2015. But when we start our season now, this is season 10.
Okay, so I'm going by calendar and you're going by show season.
Yeah, I'm going by show season. So this starting November is our 10th season. No,
Well, then
no, it's not. It's our 9th season. Hold on. I'm a fucking idiot.
Listen, numbers are difficult.
No, yeah,
Time.
yeah, right here.
Give it more.
Start of season 10. Right there. And the first movie of season 10 is going to be Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Look, dude, I just need to get a new headset. Oh, shit. I guess you can.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
There's no reason for it. Oh, this little thing lights up blue. Hey, look at that. Look at that.
I mean, everything lights up now. Are you
I
chewing
know.
gum too? Do you drink beer while you're chewing gum? Or is that a Zin? Oh, it's nicotine gum. That's actually makes it worse.
Hi.
You chew Nicorette gum and then drink beer at the same time?
Yeah, why not, bud?
It just doesn't seem. Listen, what do I know? I don't chew that.
You take the
that
gum and you upper decker it.
Oh, listen, I get it, right? Like we've all been there. We all, I don't want to throw. I just popped in this piece of bubble gum. I don't want to throw it away. Yeah, I'll have some of that Dr. Pepper. Thank you very much, and I'll just make it work. But that's one thing. That's a lot of sugar, and that's for a kid. You, I think, have gone to the adult level though, and have done a Nicorette gum or nicotine gum and a pitcher of beer. Just really seems like, and you look like a hockey player too. So
Because of the hair?
Well, because of the everything. But yes, the hair does help.